All right, welcome. We're so glad that you're here to learn about some natural solutions for you and your family's health. This will probably be about like 35 to 40 minutes long. Um, so here's a tip for you. If you turn your phone sideways, you can see all the screens. And if you know how to, screenshot, you might be able to screenshot some things that you want to remember because we will share some like statistics and stuff. Um, okay, so if you're like dreaming a little bit here, imagine if you were gifted a dream car, but the only catch was that you would need it to last your entire life. Like, which one would you choose, right? You feel free to put it in the chat. I mean, for me, it would probably be like number four, I think.
Or for me.
Or yeah.
We just bought number 4.
Oh,
Oh, did you? Oh my
We
gosh,
did.
perfect. That's amazing. I love it. Well, then we know your answer. Crystal says hi, by the way. She just text messaged me. Uh, well, if you were only getting one car, wouldn't you want to take care of it? Right? Like, would you skip the lot? Like, would you skip on putting the best fuel in it? No. Would you skip on oil changes? Probably not, right? Or would you ignore like the strange noises or dashboard warning signs? Of course not, right? So since we only get one body, why is it that we tend to skip out on like the preventative health care, right? Sometimes we sacrifice our health. We buy cheap foods or processed foods because it's convenient, or we ignore symptoms and delay checkups. We skip working out because we just like don't have the time. We invest in our cars, homes, phones, all of the things, but not our own well-being sometimes. And so when time gets short and budgets get tight, health can be the first thing that we cut, even though it's the most valuable asset. Okay.
all
Um,
right. So we have so many different symptoms and different things that can affect us. And as you look at this page, you may see some things on here that you're like, oh, yeah, that's definitely me. Or maybe you see some things that others around you have. Maybe, some of your family members or maybe your friends are dealing with those. And we find that so many people are dealing with these things day in and day out. And, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I feel like a lot of us feel like we just can't find the solutions to those issues. And so tonight, we're going to try to help you. As you look at that, do you feel like you see anything on there that you're like, oh, yep, I feel like I'm dealing with those things? I know I do.
Yes.
Yep, there's definitely, I feel like everybody can pick one or two that they're like, oh, yeah, that's definitely me.
for me, it used to be like digestion and hip pain. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
Headaches for me, energy, big time. That was huge for me, huge.
Mm.
Well, there's a couple different ways you can look at trying to solve these different things. And so when we talk about medicine, we're mostly talking about the modern approach. And so when you go to your doctor, they're looking at what are your symptoms and how do we fix that? And so they say, hey, you have headaches. Okay, we're going to give you this medication. They say, okay, you have stomach issues. Hey, we're going to give you this. You have high cholesterol. Let's give you this medication. And so it's very much disease oriented and not people oriented. So it's not looking at the patient as a whole being. It's literally saying, "Hey, how can I fix this issue that you just came to me with?" So what I don't love about that, and I'm an optometrist, so just so you kind of know where I'm coming from, I'm definitely in the medical world day in and day out, and I work with patients. I've been in practicing for 25 years, so I see this approach, and I see patients on many medications, and all of those medications, unfortunately, are causing different side effects and things like that. And the reason is because they went to this doctor for this doctor for this, and this doctor for this, and there's not a holistic approach happening. So everybody's being treated as a symptom as opposed to a true full on person and patient. And so the diagnosis just really is based on how they're feeling and the issues that they come in with. So it's looking at symptoms not at the root causes. So where I like to focus is more on the natural approach. So when we're looking at the natural approach, we're not just looking at the symptoms you're coming in with, we're saying, okay, what is causing those symptoms and what can we do to eliminate those symptoms for you? And so it's more health oriented, it's patient centered, it's a holistic approach. So we're not looking at just one thing at a time. We're literally looking at your entire health and seeing how we can help that out. This is more of a preventative approach. So we're looking really at well care as opposed to the modern approach looking at sick care. And so when we're looking at those root causes and things like that, we can really make a difference for people. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that can cause disease in the body, because there are things that we encounter every single day that can affect how we feel. And so one of the first ones that we can talk about is inflammation. Inflammation is huge in our bodies. When we talk about that, it's kind of like our help signal in our body. So it's awesome if you're injured. It actually helps us to heal. But what happens is that many of us live in an inflammatory state the majority of the time. And when we're doing that, it's literally just breaking down our body and causing more and more issues, pains, making our body just not function as it should. Well, a lot of that inflammation comes because we suffer from nutrient deficiency. So with nutrient deficiency, honestly, 96% of Americans do not get the nutrients they need. What happens is that our food supply has changed so much. Today, an apple that you eat today just does not have the same nutrients that, say, 40 years ago. We would have to eat 32 apples today compared to 40 years ago, what we would get from one apple. I mean, no one can consume that amount of food in a day. When they look at those different foods and things like that, we just find that there's so many additives and things today. There's so many extra ultra processed things and bioengineered things. We are not getting what we need in our nutrients. Now, the third thing that we have to worry about is toxic overload. And so from day one, we are exposed to toxins in our world, whether it be in our food supply, in our water supply, in the cleaning products around us, in the air around us. And our bodies have to detox all of that out. So we have got to have our bodies functioning like they need to so they can really get that stuff out so it doesn't start to build up in our system. Now, when these things are out of balance, there's so many things we can experience. Things like headaches, we can have trouble sleeping, low energy, huge for me, huge for so many. Digestive issues can be a problem. And we may find more issues with disease, things like diabetes, asthma, heart disease. All of these things build up. And man, if we can get to the root cause of this and help to support our bodies with what they need, it can make such an amazing difference. So let's look at a video really quick that just talks about how modern healthcare is kind of set up these days.
It's not an overstatement to say that I learned virtually nothing at Stanford Medical School about the tens of thousands of scientific papers that elucidate these root causes of why American health is plummeting and how environmental factors are causing it. For instance, in medical school, I did not learn that for each additional serving of ultra-processed food we eat, early mortality increases by 18%. This now makes up 67% of the foods our kids are eating. I took 0 nutrition courses in medical school. I didn't learn that 82% of independently funded studies show harm from processed food, while 93% of industry-sponsored studies reflect no harm. In medical school, I didn't learn that 95% of the people who created the recent USDA food guidelines for America had significant conflicts of interest with the food industry. I did not learn that 1 billion pounds of synthetic pesticides are being sprayed on our food every single year. 99% of the farmland in the United States is sprayed with synthetic pesticides, many from China and Germany. And these invisible, tasteless chemicals are strongly linked to autism, ADHD, sex hormone disruption, thyroid disease, sperm dysfunction, Alzheimer's, dementia, birth defects, cancer, obesity, liver dysfunction, female infertility, and more.
All right, so that is Dr. Casey Means, and she, oh gosh, she wrote the book Good Energy. She is a Stanford trained physician. She specialized in head and neck surgery, and she saw that the system was broken. And so she has really tried to make a huge difference and help to educate people on metabolism and metabolic issues. If you haven't read the book Good Energy, I highly recommend it. I've read it twice. I love it. I've listened to it as well. So much good information in there. And she really just talks about how, supporting ourselves and getting our bodies working the way they need to is critical. So I believe her analysis of that is something that we don't realize as patients. We do not realize that our doctors are not trained on keeping us healthy. They're trained literally how to fix a problem, and it's eye-opening for sure.
All right, so why doTERRA? You may know doTERRA as being the world leader in essential oils, but tonight we're focusing on the top selling foundational health products, things like supplements, gut support, and energy. What makes doTERRA different? They actually work. Many supplements aren't regulated, but doTERRA's are clinically backed, developed by real doctors, and third-party tested for purity and potency. No junk ever. We're talking 100% pure ingredients, no fillers, no contaminants, and no shortcuts. doTERRA has in-house team of scientists, partners, and independent labels and are third-party tested. Also, co-impact sourcing. doTERRA is a humanitarian company focused on global impact through their Healing Hands Foundation by sourcing their essential oils and ingredients in their best habitat for that plant to thrive. They actually work directly with farmers from all over the world, impacting their communities and creating meaningful jobs and income. So next we're going to talk about the wellness pyramid. You'll take a look at doTERRA's wellness pyramid, and at the foundation, these basics lay the groundwork for everything else, like reducing toxins, managing stress, and supporting your body with the right tools. And when we actually focus on these habits, we see things like inflammation, fatigue, and gut issues start to improve, often without meds. Our bodies are incredibly smart. We just need to give them the right support. So let's break it down and show you how that works. As we're focusing on foundational wellness, we are filling our nutrient gaps and supporting brain and heart health and reducing inflammation, balancing gut bacteria, and supporting healthy digestion. Let's dive into these and work together to help your body function at its best. So terms to know: bioavailability and bioretention. So it's not just about taking vitamins, it's about how well your body can absorb them. And unfortunately, most supplements on the market are 20 to 30% bioavailable, meaning that you're peeing out about 70 to 80% of them. Bioavailability just means how much of the supplement the body can actually use. Bioretention is how much the supplement stays in your body for you to utilize throughout the day. This is also key, and we'll address it more in the next couple of slides.
Thanks, April. All right, so what is VMG? It's a daily nutritional drink with over 90 whole food-based ingredients, including fruits, vegetables, probiotics, and digestive enzymes, designed to fill the gaps in our diet. So it stands for vitamins, minerals, greens, plus doTERRA essential oils. Each sachet contains 3 to 4 servings of nutrient-dense greens, plus essential oils, which helps with the bioavailability April was talking about. So doTERRA studied even showed that 91% of VMG stayed in the system for 8 hours, keeping those nutrients available for your body to use them, which is amazing bioretention. So if you're struggling with energy slumps, bloating, or brain fog, like some of us, VMG can help a ton. It supports energy, digestion, mental clarity, and it's gluten-free and vegan-friendly. And it tastes amazing. It tastes like pineapple mango. So it's something that I look forward to every day. Actually, my whole family is on VMG. And my little girls have noticed huge difference in their energy levels as well, that they beg me for it. So also VMG is 540% more bioavailable than other regular supplements on the market, thanks to its essential oils and liposomal technology. So when it comes to tackling inflammation, BMG showed up like some impressive results. So if you're struggling with inflammation, this is huge. It reduced C-reactive protein, which is your inflammation biomarker, on average by 43.5% in the study, which means it can help ease chronic pain, boost your energy, of course, and just make you feel overall just way better. So here's the best part that we all love. We all feel younger. So in just 6 weeks, BMG helped reduce biological age by 2 years. So it's not just about looking youthful, it's about how you feel, right? With better cell health and vitality. Me personally, I have noticed an overall drastic improvement in my energy level for sure. But again, the pain, I think it's as a result of the BMG, but also our collagen that we'll be talking about here soon. I used to live with chronic hip pain, and I also used to have chronic diarrhea, like TMI. But all of that has gone away, so I'm really thankful for that. Okay, so there's a few testimonials we like to share. So this is Sarah. I've been friends with Sarah for a long time. She was taking medical grade supplements from her doctor, and it was just getting really expensive. She wasn't noticing a difference. So she decided to switch over to doTERRA Foundational Wellness. And after her 6-month checkup, her blood work all came back way better, and she feels so much better. She also looks incredible. And she also takes our collagen as well. I will notate all of my blood work came back completely superb. So even it was like 3 months in, um, before this, before I was on doTERRA, all of my blood work was like in the red. It was like, you're dying. Pretty much, not really, but it was bad. After 3 months of being on doTERRA, it drastically changed, but 1 year later, it got even better. So I have hyperthyroid, and so I had antibodies, and all of those antibodies have gone either away, where I don't have those antibodies anymore, or so much better. And all of my thyroid numbers are all back in check. Okay, and then this is Sherry. She was a migraine sufferer for 2 decades. She was on prescriptions and taking lots of shots to keep them at bay. She went on doTERRA's Foundational Health, and all of her migraines significantly were reduced, and over the last year and a half has been able to get off of all of her prescriptions, and she's only had about 6 migraines total in the last year and a half. Cool.
That's
And then
so
Amy,
cool.
I know you have seen drastic results as well. Feel free to chime in.
Oh gosh, yes, huge drastic results. I mean, actually, my doctor, I just went to my doctor this week and she said, she's like, well, I see you've lost weight. It looks like it looks like you're doing really well. What have you been doing?
Oh,
So I got to talk to her about everything. I don't have all my blood work back yet, so I'm still waiting for that. It should be all back. She does a lot of different things. So it's supposed to be done in a couple days. I should get the results on that. But I thought it was nice that she noticed things were definitely better. And she said, yeah, she's like, oh, you look great. I'll take it. So yeah, not to mention the fact that I just feel amazing and I don't ever want to go back where I was before this. That's for sure. Well, I get to talk about omegas, which for me as an eye doctor is a huge thing, and it's something I absolutely love. So omega-3s are so important in our general health and our inflammatory cascades. Everything about omega-3s is just fantastic to me because without them, our eyes do not feel good. And guess what? Our bodies actually don't feel good either. Unfortunately, 95% of Americans are actually completely deficient in omega-3s. So let's talk a little bit about omegas and what they are. There's two main types of omegas that we're going to go over tonight. First is the omega-6s. Now, these are the ones that are prevalent. These are everywhere. These are processed foods. These are fried foods. These are the inflammatory guys. So they are the bad guys. They're the ones we don't want, but that they're ones that are in everything that we're taking in this country. They are important when our body is trying to recover. So that's where some of that inflammation and that help with healing comes in. Our body can actually make omega-6s. So if it needs it, it can make those, but we're getting so much from our food supply, it's not working out. Now, omega-3s are the good guys. So these are the ones that actually aid in tissue repair. So they're the ones that get in there, they fight inflammation, they promote healing, and they fight off all the issues. For me, omega-3s keep things flexible. So, you know, it helps with people who have retinopathies and things like that. So bleeding in their eyes, it actually helps to heal their blood vessels. It helps to lower blood pressure. It helps to keep inflammation at bay. And it is huge for dry eyes. The problem is we cannot make omega-3s, so we have to get them from somewhere. We can get them from our food supply, but it is very difficult to get enough omega-3s. And so because we're so overloaded with these omega-6s, most of us are at about, we need a 1-to-1 ratio, and we're at about 16-to-1. So we've got a lot of work to do, and we really need to get those omega-3s somehow, whether it's from our food, which is extremely hard, or from an amazing supplement. So unless you are eating 2 cans of amazing quality tuna a day, you're probably not getting anywhere close to the omega-3s that you need. Now let's talk about how these affect us. So omegas are so helpful for our system. The first way is with inflammation. They fight inflammation. They'll help with our pain. They'll help to lower risk for chronic disease. So things like high blood pressure, diabetes, these things, it pulls down that those inflammatory markers and helps to keep those things at bay. Heart health is huge with omega-3s, you guys. We have to have those for our hearts to continue to pump effectively. It lowers our blood pressure. It keeps our blood vessels very flexible. I definitely see this in my world all the time. And so I'm recommending omega-3s all of the time. For brain health, literally omega-3s are like fuel for our brain. They help us to think clearly. They help to keep everything working the way it needs to. So for memory, for focus, for fighting things like Alzheimer's and dementia, huge for that. And they're great for metabolism. So they help to keep our weight healthy. They help to keep our energy up. They're going to do so many things for us that we have to make sure we get them. People with higher omega-3 levels, you guys, they lower their risk of serious disease. And studies show it can actually add years to our life. So we have E Omega Plus. Let's go to the next slide. E Omega Plus has been an amazing addition to our supplement regimen. This is our omega-3 supplement. And as you can see on the screen there's 2 things that I love about it. Number 1 is that over 6 weeks, people found a 16.2% decreased resting heart rate. So our resting heart rate is a really good, good thing to look at for our general health. For me, this has been critical because my heart rate tends to run really, really high. And I did notice that it just came down and I feel better. I have more energy. I can exercise more. I don't get winded when I'm walking up the stairs like I used to. This has been huge for me, but it's so great for so many people who are fighting with cardiac issues. The other thing we've got on this page is the decreased diastolic blood pressure. So many are fighting with high blood pressure. And for this to be able to pull down our diastolic blood pressure about 14%, that can make a difference for somebody who's fighting with those numbers. Now, we are recommended to get about 500 milligrams a day minimum. Okay, that's the very minimum. Most of us are only consuming about 90. So with E Omega Plus, we're getting 900 milligrams a day. It is truly the superior omega on the market. The other thing it has with it, you guys, is it has wild orange essential oil, which contains limonene. I love that for the cardioprotective portion of that, but it also allows our body to function more effectively and allows it to make a really big impact on our health. And I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about PB Restore. Our gut is our second brain. It is so, so important, and it plays a vital role in our overall health and well-being. So without a healthy gut, we can have all kinds of issues. And you can see some of those on the screen here, everything from gas, constipation. We can get things like food allergies because our gut is not working like it needs to, food intolerances, autoimmune diseases. You guys, skin issues are often 100% our gut health. But a lot of people don't realize that things like anxiety and depression, memory, mood changes, those can all be gut centered as well. And so when our gut is not working, it can change everything in our in our life. So there are two products we're going to talk about. One is the PB Restore, and I'm going to go ahead and review that. It is 30 pre, pro, and postbiotics that support the microbiome throughout our entire body. You can see on the image on the screen, it's actually our PB Restore is very unique because it's a two-part capsule. Because of this dual encapsulated design, part of this actually will dissolve in our stomach. And the rest actually gets to our gut, to our intestines. And it's going to give us exactly what we need in each one of those places. This ensures that billions of healthy intestinal flora are effectively delivered exactly where they need to go. And since our guts don't work well, simply because of things like I talked about before with our nutrient deficiencies, our food supply problems, everyone can benefit from PB Restore. Ashley, do you want to tell? Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to tell testimony.
Oh, yeah.
Rob's
So for Rob, oh my gosh, my husband, he's been on like every single probiotic known to man since he got a parasite back in 2017. He's tried everything on the market. He will tell you that this is hands down his favorite. He has stayed on it for almost a year and a half now. Before he used to like try to change them up and get like the refrigerated ones at Whole Foods, and he tried cheapo ones at Walmart. Nothing really worked. But this has been consistent, and it really works well for him.
I agree.
Sorry about my dogs.
You're good. Feel
But
free
I
if you
was
want to add
gonna
anything in.
I was going to share too. So my son-in-law, who was a huge skeptic, has had IBS for years and tried every probiotic out there, and he swears by doTERRA's. He said it's the best he's ever been on.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
I have somebody I'm dealing with right now, so I'll have to let them know that. That's huge. Okay, so we talked about nutrition and digestion, which is key to supporting foundational health. But if you're like some of us, you're probably also looking for metabolic support. So let me first start by saying if you are dealing with any digestion or gut issues, we suggest that you start by asking your advocate more about the foundational wellness, and they can kind of dive into the protocol that would be perfect for you. Collagen, though, is a huge thing right now. But doTERRA's collagen is different. Most collagens only focus on one or two types, and doTERRA actually has 9 different types of marine collagen, which means it does way more than just hair and skin and nails. It's designed to support your entire metabolism as well. It's freeze-dried powder, and when you activate it with water, it's 12 times more absorbable than other collagens, so your body can actually properly use it. But it's not just about how you look, it's also about how your joints feel and your connective tissues working, your brain health, your gut health, all those things. And it can also even help with things like A1C, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels because they're all key indicators of metabolic health. So the game changer is that doTERRA actually added in NMN. If you've never heard of this before, it helps your body produce what's called NAD plus levels in your body. And NAD plus is essential for cell repair and regeneration, but it peaks around age 25. And after that, your levels start dropping, leading to things like wrinkles, joint pain, brain fog, and maybe some gray hair. Boosting NAD with NMN means fewer wrinkles, less pain, sharper brain function, and even less gray hair. So this is why you're going to see some pretty great results in the next thing. So we've even got Amy in here. We've got my husband on here. And actually, I just updated this picture and I put it on the next slide. So top left is my husband. He's been on doTERRA collagen for close to a year and a half now. And this was actually his first 60 days. His gray hair, he gets haircuts like it's like his part-time job, I swear. It's like every 2-3 weeks. But this was like 3 weeks apart, both of them like after shortly getting a haircut. He noticed that his hair was growing in much thicker. I'm gonna take you to the next slide because you gotta see. I almost didn't even believe it, you guys. This was okay, this was a screenshot of a video because I never took a before picture of the back of his head, but his hair was all gray. Now we take a picture and I was like, wait a second. His hair was even thicker and there was no gray hair. Not wild. Um, and then obviously Amy's on here, and Amy's obviously how much weight have you lost now?
Right around 15 pounds. I haven't, that's not wasn't my goal with starting doTERRA. So it's just been a byproduct of feeling better and having more energy. And I think I'm getting the right nutrition. It's just been great. So yeah, it's been awesome. And I just feel like less puffiness. I mean, people can tell that I'm so much more energetic. People who haven't seen me for a while are like, wow, you look great. I'm like, oh, thanks.
I love that,
Yeah.
especially when people notice.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Linda on the top right. She went to a dermatologist for this spot that she had. It's a sunspot, and they said that was just normal. And she tried before this numerous collagen products on the market before, but they often upset her stomach, and they had no noticeable effects. So her sunspot is now gone after she's been on DoTerra collagen, and her energy levels have improved greatly. And she also said her brain fog has cleared as well. Now she's on foundational wellness and the collagen. On the bottom right, you'll see a lady. She had like age spots on her arms, and anytime she bumped herself, they would. Oh, Crystal's popping in. Anytime she would bump herself, the spots would appear, and doctors biopsied and just said that's what happens when you get older. After using MetaPower for about 3 months, the spots are completely gone, and she's seen other changes too: weight loss of 60 pounds, thicker hair, nails are growing again, and she has a lower A1C. Crystal, I noticed you just popped on. We're at the tail end. I just want to let you know, but I'm recording it for you. Um, okay, so the first time that you order Foundational Wellness at doTERRA, you'll receive a free glass shaker bottle to mix up your VMG in, and a free 5 ml peppermint essential oil, which is amazing for things like upset tummies, nausea, headaches, and a boost of energy for alertness. And also, your advocate can share more with you about how to earn the top free, well, I should say the free top 12 essential oils every month just by getting your foundational wellness. On top of that, points can be earned as well. It's a free rewards program. It's amazing, and most people absolutely love it. Um, and then I wanted to introduce 4 other kind of like key players here that we might recommend as advocates that have been really helpful to us. So, of course, we have we have a lot of products, but these I feel like are game changers. So Terrazyme is a must-have for any digestive issues. It helps break down foods that we're sensitive to, and helps us absorb what we need. It's also great for things like gas, bloating, and acid reflux. Then we have Zendocrine Detox Complex, and it's a must-have if you're not pooping at least 1 to 2 times per day. It's really important. Like Amy went over to flush the toxins out of your body, but this is a gentle detox. Um, and so it helps gently filter your liver, kidney, gallbladder, and helps you stay regular. And then there's Recharge. This is our electrolytes, and it has 4 types of magnesium and 75 deep sea ocean minerals. So 75% of Americans walk around completely dehydrated, but they don't even realize that's what creates brain fog and headaches. And then last but not least, we just went over our collagen, and that is obviously a game changer. And so I will put in the chat a survey real quick. We do have, Amy, would you grab are you able to, the community Facebook group link for me? Is that possible? Let me know. So this link I'm going to be putting in the chat. Hopefully you can see it. This will be really helpful if you can fill that out for us. We're going to at the very end, when we get your survey, we have a free ebook on hormones, and it is amazing. But there's also a 90-minute whole video on a functional medicine doctor that specializes in women's hormones, and it's very interesting. So, if you would like that 90-minute replay, we can always get that to you. But the PDF is amazing in and of itself. And so, I'll wait for you. If you can let me know if you're able to, if you have any questions on how to get to the link, you can unmute yourself. but this survey is really, really helpful because usually what we do with our customers is we do one-on-one so that we can hear what you're dealing with, and then we can recommend more targeted approaches based off of what you're dealing with, because health is a journey, right? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.